Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Brian Corbin, and today I want to talk to you about how to write the evaluation essay. So before you start writing your essay, you've got to figure out what it is you're evaluating. Are you going to evaluate a restaurant, cafeteria, a park, an amusement park, a water slide, place for kids? What are you going to evaluate, and how will you evaluate it? And that's the criteria. Criteria is the quality that's used to measure something. But before you start to figure out the criteria, you've got to do some brainstorming to figure out what you're going to be evaluating and what you'll be writing about in your essay. Your essay has to have clear criteria to help you with your evaluation. Without clear criteria, your essay will fall apart. Criteria helps you with the following. Helps you with establishing standards. Think about what critics do, movie critics or restaurant critics. They establish standards for what they're evaluating. Movie critics might establish a standard based on cinematography, and restaurant critics might establish a standard based on quality of food. You want to provide a common understanding of your evaluation for your readership, and of course, criteria is what enables you to do this. Criteria also helps you clarify information, and when you're writing your essay, you got to choose criteria that's commonly used. Don't choose something that's far-fetched that a lot of people don't care about. For example, you might not write about the toilet paper in the restaurant unless that's really key to your life or something. Choose something that's very commonly used for criteria. Okay, so how do you write the essay? That's a good question that everyone wants to know. Well, in step 1, you can see there on your screen that you want to start off broad with an introduction and provide context. If you're talking about going to a pizza restaurant, maybe talk about pizza restaurants in general, and then move to step 2 where you say which restaurant you visited and give a brief description of the type of dining establishment it is and kind of give an overview of what your experience was. From there, you'd move on to your body paragraphs where you should describe the experience with the product or service you utilized. Make sure that for each paragraph you only have one kind of criteria, whether it's cleanliness of the restaurant or friendliness of the service, but choose one kind of criteria and discuss it with at least 3 supporting details. From there, you'll continue on with the different criteria, and then you'll end with your conclusion where you specifically recommend whether or not you should use the product or service in the future. The conclusions should state specifically whether you recommend it or do not, whether it's a product, a service, or some kind of media. Whatever it is you're talking about, make sure you specifically recommend it or not recommend it. The conclusion, though, should not be a surprise. All the writing leading up to it should kind of make sense at the very end. You shouldn't write a horrible review and then say, oh, you should go to this restaurant, or oh, you should visit this amusement park. No, if you're writing horrible about the whole experience, the conclusion should be, I don't recommend it. So just make sure it follows a logical sequence. Your body paragraph should include strengths and weaknesses based on the criteria you selected. You want to clearly explain how the criteria you chose underwhelms, meets, or exceeds your expectations, and provide specific details. Be descriptive with your adjectives, and include a topic sentence that introduces the criteria. One of the best things you can do to strengthen your essay is to use descriptive details, as I said a second ago. I'm going to show you a few sentences here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This sentence, benches line the park. Okay, well, you can envision that, right? But what about this one? Uncomfortable benches with splinters line the park. That puts a lot more emphasis on what the benches actually looked like and felt like as opposed to the first sentence. The next one, I sat down at the table and ordered my food. Okay, I can envision that, but I can envision this sentence better. I sat down at a noisy corner table and ordered my food. Do you see the difference there? How about this one? The decor was amazing. Okay, what about the decor? How about this? The decor consisted of uniquely crafted flower arrangements and hand-painted floral designs on the wall. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm giving you more specific details to make your evaluation come alive. If you can do that with your own paper, you'll have a much better chance of writing a better evaluation and getting a better grade. Here are some other specific ways you can give descriptive details in your writing. You can say $12.15 to describe the price of the meal, but don't say moderately priced. You can say there were 32 items in the menu. Don't say there's many items on the menu. You can say there were 4 playgrounds, but don't say several playgrounds. The more specific you can be, the better off your writing is going to be, and the more easier it will be for your readers to understand your experience and what the place or situation is that you actually. Your concluding paragraph should tie everything together. Make sure in your conclusion that you don't provide any new facts or quotes. Ask yourself the question, so what? Why does everything you just wrote matter? The answer to that question will help you write a solid and terrific conclusion. In your conclusion, specifically state whether or not you recommend the product or